It depends what you're at. You get rejected work instead of having cocktail.
Lavish ones. You know, some of the solutions.
Considered to be the oil, even though, you set up a neighborhood killed so easily. So that's very important.
Well, it is, of course, Valentine's Day, and that has many people thinking roses, letters, and chocolate. And it is a big day for chocolate. 58 billion pounds, or $1.5 billion worth of chocolate, are sold this week leading up to Valentine's Day. And to talk more about the yummy treat is Esther Luongo Psarakis, and she is the president of Taste of Crete and La Dolce Gourmet. And welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, particularly on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, here we go. Yes. And happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history of chocolate. And it really does have a long history.
Yes. Actually, it was discovered in the New World. It is something that the Aztecs and the Incas and the Maya enjoyed, but it wasn't the sweet beverage that we know today. It was considered really, as you can think, the smoothie of back then. And it was a combination of the raw chocolate, chili, and maize, corn. And it was drunk as a liquid.
Wow.
Yes. It was like a big energy boost.
Well, they do say that it gives you a lot of energy. They actually say cocoa is good for you now.
Exactly.
In fact, back in the 1800s, they actually prescribed chocolate. Doctors used to do
that. Exactly. And it's interesting because that's before everything was really known about all the wonderful health properties that chocolate, particularly dark chocolate, has been discovered to have.
Well, let's talk about some of those health properties, since we're all going to be eating a little chocolate today. So what are some of the health benefits?
There's a number of them. The thing I want to preface is it's most important to be eating dark chocolate. And that means ideally chocolate that's at least 70% cocoa. And if you're doing that, it really has wonderful impacts on all aspects of your body, from the brain. Okay, it's been shown to show cognitive improvement by eating small little bits of chocolate maybe a few times a week, no more than an ounce at a time.
So I should have it right before the newscast?
Exactly. And it also, because, believe it or not, there's also caffeine in chocolate, but it's not as intense as you would find in coffee, for example. And probably one of the most significant, particularly because it's Valentine's Day today, there's a chemical that's called PEA. And it's one of the flavonoids, and that is actually released in the brain when you eat chocolate, and it also releases endorphins. So that is why chocolate is so closely related to Valentine's Day and the food of love and all that kind of good stuff.
It sort of gives you that feeling of love almost.
Exactly.
Well, what did you bring over here with us today?
We brought a selection of our products for you today. One thing that we have right in front, this big chunk. Here? Yes, that is dark chocolate. That's close to 70% dark chocolate. And this is what is used to make a variety of high-quality chocolates. It's actually tempered. Those blocks then are tempered. It's a process that brings out the crystallization in chocolate and further brings out all the goodness of it.
And that's really healthy then.
Exactly. And then the cookies that we have here, they happen to be vegan. They're cookies dipped with dark chocolate. So we have orange and our traditional sesame seed cookies there. And then we have a dark chocolate bar over there in the blue, and we have our lovely truffles in several varieties. So,
well, the truffles are always one of my favorites. They're
exactly.
So good. Well, why? How did? I mean, I know that the chocolate raises the endorphins and makes you feel good, but how did chocolate become associated with February 14th?
It's interesting. There's actually 3 different saints. It goes back to Christian and actually the pagan traditions of feasts, but there was Saint Valentine that's originally associated with that, just really with his own martyrdom. However, more recently in the 1840s, that what we know as the traditions of Valentine go back to a woman, her name is Esther Howard, by the way.
Well, there you go. Another Esther.
She started the concept of sending out Valentines, actually creating handcrafted Valentine's Day.
Oh, is that
and
right?
It's from that point that it was associated as something beyond the religious significance, that it's a holiday that you express your love, you give little tokens of that love, be it cards or food items. So.
Oh, that's all interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And what are you going to be doing for Valentine's Day? I know you're going to be doing probably a lot of work today, but how are you celebrating?
Well, we're actually going to go out for a very nice dinner and just really enjoy the love and family that is so important to actually celebrate, not just on Valentine's Day, but every day. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of dark chocolate mixed in with that as well.
All right, well, that sounds terrific.
Thank you.
Esther,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much for coming on board.
A pleasure.
Always a pleasure to see you from Taste of Crete.
Thank you so much.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's as well.